Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago. As usual, yes, we are back for the Kim Blandino thing. And as Liz D has pointed out, if the chair spins, Blandino wins. All right. There's an official introduction. I don't know what they're doing. It doesn't look like they're really cooking yet. Well, let's add it and see. Can you hear me? I made all sorts of adjustments. I turned my mic down to almost zero. I don't know if it went too far. And now I want to test it with their audio, but I'm not hearing anything. Thank you. That sounds good. I got a bunch of good suggestions. This is the 300th time. Oh, Jacob, my associate. Yeah, that'll be a party, Jacob. I've tried to adjust this so many times. And I did have a conversation, a little text exchange with Alex this morning, and he said he was going to try to up their output. Former associate. Yes, Jacob had the good sense to leave. I've been threatening to get Jacob on here, but much like Sue, I'm afraid of the stories he might tell. Oh. All right, am I missing something, or is this just on hold right now? Because if they're not going to make any noise, you know what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, it's happening. We had to get it in. We had to get one in before this started. David, don't act like you don't love it. Okay? I know you do. Oh. I don't see a judge. That's an issue when you're in court. Got to get a judge. I don't see Mr. Blandino or his counsel either. I don't mean to be conspiratorial, but what's going on? See, they need to show up, or I'm just going to keep playing with my clips. Blandino is there. Where? That's right. Whatever. I appreciate the support. I truly do. We don't need no judge. We've got Blandino dancing. There's Alex adjusting his phone. Ooh, that, who knows? I'll tell you, I've tried a few cases in my day, and you have no idea. I would think short here because they've had the case and people have made up their mind, but all it takes is a holdout. All it takes is a holdout. either way, if everyone wants to acquit and somebody wants to convict, or vice versa, and you've got yourself a long debacle. I'm interested to see the closing arguments here. I think the state's made the case. Having said that, I think if from what I've seen so far, if Kim didn't take the stand, I think Ben could have talked him out of it and just said, this is all a misunderstanding. He's a little goofy, but it really isn't criminal. I think that would have carried the day until he testified. His performance yesterday, I think, convicted him. But I don't really know. I have no idea. Those are my true thoughts on it as we sit here right now. Oh, they're getting him up from nap time? His elderly roommate? We don't need no stinking name tags either. Oh, there's Kim. All right. Thank you, Super Secret Squirrel. There's Kim with his box of silly papers. I was afraid he was going to go to that box when he was sitting on the stand. All right, so we've got defense, we've got prosecution. I don't see the judge, but that might be the flag in front of her. And I don't hear anything. Gripping live stream I've got going on here. Don't make me do it again. Don't make me do it again. Kind of growing on me. Well, you see, we didn't miss anything. Yes, he does. There are a lot of suggestions for Kim. The Sherman guy, that guy, and many others. And he somehow does it. Yeah, I'm getting that overwhelming feeling myself. Volume's at 10 on the feed, and at the suggestion of somebody, I actually did a plug-in. I actually got something called the Volume Master plugin. Here's a plug for Volume Master if it works. I did two things. I did a bunch of things to up the volume of the feed, and then I did a bunch of stuff to turn down my mic. We'll see how it goes, but we can't really compare. You guys can hear me now, but you can't really compare relative volume until we hear something from them. I do. I think he admitted the essential elements of both charges yesterday on the stand, and I think, and without that, I think the state made their case even when they rested. I think they had made their case, but it was open to interpretation. So if you kind of felt sorry for him, you could say, he didn't really mean that, and give him a not guilty. I thought that was on the table until he testified. Now, having said that, you don't know. These are 12 strangers in Nevada. I think we're in Clark County. These are 12 people I don't know in Clark County deciding this. That's the system we have. It's that simple. Yeah, I mean that's got to be kind of hard to watch. Although his son is there, I don't know in what capacity, but that's good. I think that they probably just sort of know what he's like and have accepted it. That's my guess. Everyone's got the crazy uncle. In my family, I am that guy. Yeah, it's Uncle Mike. You know, what are you gonna do? I doubt it. We went through this. I think it was. I think we were on. I was on with Artie, and it's actually a felony. I think it's got a year minimum. I have no idea what the sentencing guidelines in Nevada are or anywhere. I don't do criminal, but I know he spent some time because they had to dust up about his competency. So he's already spent a significant amount of time in jail. I don't know. My guess is they would give him credit for that time served. So let's say he did 100 days. I'm making this up. I don't know the numbers. Let's say he did 100 days. They convict him, and the judge says, okay, you got to go do 6 months. Credit for 100 days time served. And then they do all sorts of stuff with behaving yourself and whatnot. However, I have my doubts about Kim behaving himself in jail. I really do. I really do. I would. 5 pounds, $100 if you copy the Kim Dance live. If I could, I just don't have the moves. I don't have that sort of capacity. I really don't. But I love it. Well, you know, she's a little more advanced in her legal education than Mr. Blandino. Oh, here we go. It's on. Donkey Kong. Woo!
Forget here.
Thank you.
Blandino, I want to bring it to Your Honor's attention that in previous entries here to the RJC during the trial, when he goes through security, he has to lift up his pant leg to show that he's on electronic monitoring. He did not have to do that today, and is concerned that there's possible prejudice to any jurors that would have seen that. And he's telling me he knows some jurors saw it, so that would be unduly prejudicial, showing that he is on pretrial. He's on pretrial detention and is a bad guy, as he says. I don't know which jurors to whom he's referring to, if you have some specific numbers of the jurors that you saw, but he's asked me to bring that to Your Honor's attention. Today, he did not, I guess, make an exception.
I insisted that after discussing it, they never showed that. I insisted they take me, and they were able to accommodate that. So that's a failure administratively on their part.
All right, so apparently today they did accommodate. He asked him not to have to lift his pant leg, and they accommodated him. So like I said, I don't know which specific jurors, he's saying that he knows that saw that, but that's,
Is he indicating any specific jurors, Your
To my recollection on then, because we're talking about last week and all, I'd have to see their faces in order to indicate, but I can indicate. Yeah, the juror numbers. Where do
we
we
got
got?
1, 2,
Yeah, I got the juror number list here. Now, the one is.
Are you asking the court to do anything,
um,
or are you just,
I'm bringing this to your honor's attention. I'm not, I don't have enough, if you can't identify which juror, I'm not gonna get in front of
please
this.
let him talk, please let Mr. Blanton talk.
I'll bring that to your honor's attention, that potential issue exists. Without knowing which juror, I'm not gonna answer this trial. I just don't know.
Fair.
All right, so Mr. Blandino, if you'll take the stand, and Officer Hawks, you can bring the panel in.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh Lord, he's still on the stand? I thought we were done. There's echo on the audio. Can you guys hear me versus this, or? Does that help?
What's the appropriate distance, best distance? Is this good? Okay.
Thank you, Gregsy. I could explain it. Oh no. We have rebuttal witnesses? Oh,
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
I thought this was an easy closing argument, in and out. I should have known better.
I don't have the. Oh, I got the post.
I think you're right, Flash for King Gaming.
Susan Brown, you're going to become juror number 5. You can still stay there where you are right now, or you can sit in seat number 5, it's up to you. But I just want to make sure you understand that you are now juror number 5. Okay, does the state stipulate to the presence of the panel?
We do, Your
Is
Honor.
now in panel? Mr. Dickerson?
We do, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bateman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Blandino, you understand you are still under the same obligation to tell the truth?
Absolutely.
And you understand your testimony being given under the pains and penalties of perjury?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dickerson?
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Mr. Blandino, how are you doing today, sir?
Fine.
Fantastic.
Can't complain except the state and federal courts and commissions on judicial discipline.
I'm sorry, what?
I said can't complain except for state and federal courts and commissions on judicial discipline.
You can't complain?
Yeah, except for that.
Strong
I can't
start.
complain about my personal how I'm feeling and everything, yeah.
Oh,
I
so
feel healthy.
the only things that you have issues with are the state courts? Is that right?
It was a humorous thing.
I'm just confirming what you're saying.
Yeah.
The state courts? You have an issue with?
Yeah, I have some complaints there. yes.
Okay, the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline, you have an issue with?
Yes, actually, yes. And the judges that I complained to about that, yeah.
And the federal courts?
Right, I've got a complaint pending in the federal court.
Well, other than that, you're all good, right?
Well, yeah. mostly.
Okay, just wanted to.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no problem.
Well played by Dickerson.
So,
Well
where
played.
we left off yesterday was looking at State's Exhibit 7. This is the letter that you sent Mr. Federico on May 9th.
What's a copy of that letter?
copy of that letter, right?
Let's be active.
Right, 2019, right?
Right.
It never ends.
And,
Thank God you guys are with me, honestly.
what we were indicating as we went through this letter yesterday.
It's proof I love you all.
You had given Mr. Federico until Monday, May 15, 2019, or else you were going to be reaching
think he
out to
does.
his firm.
No, it doesn't say that or else. I don't think you're reading that properly.
Okay. So
Did you actually see it or else there?
therefore, consistent with my beliefs, I will send a copy of all relevant documents
Right.
to the Olson, Cannon, Gormley, Angulo, and Skaversky unless I hear from you by Monday, May 15, 2019.
Unless is an or else, though. Are you seeing that unless is the same as or else?
That's what you said though, right?
No, that's what I wrote.
Okay. And attached to that particular letter, you included some exhibits, right?
Yes.
And this would be Exhibit 1F, as you titled it.
Yes.
This right here, you included what appears to be United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit case involving Kim Blandino versus Douglas Herman in his capacity as the state of Nevada judge. Is that right?
Yes. And in his individual capacity, we keep reading here.
As
And then
well
Jeffrey
as,
Weinberger got
okay, great. And so with that, you also included an amended order from the same case.
exactly.
Okay. And you included those because you wanted to make sure that Mr. Federico saw them.
Well, I thought that might be helpful
Just to know what you can do, right?
to know what I could do. No. I wanted to know what I had done. I mean, that's what I had done.
Because you're a serious person.
Well, actually, I'm pretty comedic. A lot of people find me very funny.
Okay, but you're serious here.
Well, yeah, but my thing has always been if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. And if you're not doing right, you're not having fun.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Happy to.
All of this was fun to you.
All of this, what is this?
Everything that you talked about doing with Mr. Federico, you had fun doing it.
I have fun no matter what I'm doing. If I'm being tortured, I can have fun. I was tortured at Lakes Crossing and I had fun.
You're having fun right now
Yes,
because you enjoy
because if
it.
you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. And if you're not doing right, you're not having fun. I've stated that specifically. Every marshal in this building just about knows that. It's my catchphrase, but it's true.
Oh, Lord.
So ultimately, May 15th comes and goes, right?
It comes and it goes.
May 15th,
Every day
2018
comes and
comes and goes, and you don't.
Oh, you mean in reference to the letter I wrote?
That's correct.
In other words, May 15th ticks off and May 16th is the very next day. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
I see.
And that happens.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's how time works.
And you didn't hear from Mr. Federico.
No, I didn't.
And so on May 16th,
I mean, to my knowledge, I didn't. Let's put it that way.
right. So then on May 16th, 2019, you made good on your threat.
Could you describe what you meant by made good and then what you mean by threat?
So I'm asking questions, but I'll do that for you.
Oh, that's.
I'll show you here. State's
Mr.
Exhibit,
Blandino,
Oh,
State's Exhibit
yeah,
8.
I mean, you need to cut the commentary out and just answer the questions from the district attorney, okay? Thank you.
State's Exhibit 8, you see this right here?
Yes.
This is May 16th, 2019 at 11:39 a.m. An email that you sent, isn't that right?
No, it's not actually true. I can't answer yes to that because at the top of this, I don't have anything to do with this top above that. the lighter line, you got the heavy line right above that says Michael Federico. I had nothing to do with that. That's not me.
Sure, right below that.
And then when it says from Michael Federico, sent May 16th. Let's see, is that from my email chain? I don't know if that is or if he added that.
May 16, 2019, you sent a letter to Mr. Federico's law firm, correct?
I sent an email.
With an attachment.
Yeah, but an email's not the same as a letter.
Well, we can get to the letter. So you sent this email right here, May 16, 2019, 11:39 a.m.
Right.
Okay, that's your email,
That's my name right there. You're pointing to.
right? Kim Blandino is your name.
What's, I never mailed to? My email is after the, is that a colon or semicolon? My email is after that colon or semicolon. I can't make it out on the screen.
Got it,
If I could look at the original, I could see if that was a colon or semicolon.
got it. You want me to zoom in for you?
Yeah, it does be that. Because I mailed to, is that how my email goes? I don't know. So that's, yeah, mail to, and then colon, and then that's my email continuing on, Kim43792.
Okay, so you sent this email to Jim Olson, Walt Cannon, John Gormley, Peter Angulo, Mike Staversky, and Michael Federico.
Right.
You titled the subject line Proposed Settlement Issues.
Yes,
You said, please see three attachments for review, correct?
yes. that's
You
correct.
included your name and your phone number,
That's his problem right now.
same phone number that you've used everywhere.
Yeah, I've had it for a long time.
Okay. You turn the page, we have your attachments that you sent to the firm, Olson, Cannon, Gormley, and Gulo, and Staversky. That's a yes?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
You dated this letter, May 16, 2019.
Right. Yes,
You addressed it to Olson, Cannon, Gormley, Gulo, and Staversky, and CC to Michael Federico.
yes,
You indicated that it's from you,
yes,
Kim Blandino,
yes,
and you titled the subject, follow up to letter of May 9, 2019, requesting settlement, Michael Federico.
yes.
That May 9, 2019 letter was one that we were just discussing, where you indicated that the drop dead date was May 15, 2019.
No, I don't think I ever said drop dead in there. I said what I said. I mean, I wrote what I wrote, but I don't see, if you want to point to me, I don't think I said drop dead.
Well, now it's May 16, 2019, and this letter gets sent by you, the board of directors for Mr. Federico's firm, correct?
Did I refer to them as the board of directors? I don't think I did. Let's see.
Okay.
No, I didn't refer to them as the board of directors. No, I didn't write that. I
Okay.
didn't write that.
You sent this letter, you said,
Yes.
and you say right up front, I had asked an attorney for your firm, Michael Federico, to settle issues in regard to his misbehavior in the Las Vegas Municipal Court in his role as alternate judge.
Yes.
You indicate that the last letter you sent was May 9th, 2019,
Yes.
and you notified him that if you, saying I, did not hear anything in response, I would notify the firm.
Yes.
And now you're notifying the firm
Yes. I like to do what I say and say what I do. Or right.
because you're serious.
No, just that way people know I'm reliable if I follow through with what I do. That's, I'm missing if I make an appointment and I'm said I'm gonna be there at 8:00 and I'm not there at 8:00, I call them and I let them know I'm late. That's how people know I'm dependable. When people have not heard from me for 15 minutes, they're calling to find out where I am because they know how reliable I am, what I say and what I do. I like to do what I say and say what I do. As much as it's
You
possible.
like to do what you say and say what you do.
Yes.
And so you're serious about what you say.
I don't know, serious is the proper word. I don't know if I could say that. I'm not, the Bible tells us your reputation precedes you. So people that talk, they say Kim is reliable. I mean, if he says he's gonna be at a place, he's gonna be at a place, or some act of God stopped him from being there. And so,
If Mr. Blandino says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it.
Yep.
Unless there's some intervening event or something, act of God stops me from doing it.
And you said that,
Now, unless I find out
said-
later that it was
hey,
wrong. Okay, I'm sorry.
you said that you were going to send a letter, all this information to Mr. Federico's firm if you didn't hear from him by May 15, 2019, right?
Yes, I did.
And that's what you did. You
Yes,
didn't hear from him, so you sent all the information to his firm.
yes.
And then it goes on. Because Federico and his various activities can reflect either in a positive or negative on your firm, I believe it is necessary to notify you before I file with the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline against Federico.
Yes.
You indicate further that, right here, since I gave Federico till May 23 to settle before filing a complaint, I gave a deadline of May 15 to at least begin good faith negotiations, or I would notify the firm so that the firm has a heads up, in quotes, of Federico if Federico had failed to inform the firm of this situation when he might be required to do so.
Yes, I wrote that.
You go further, I attached the prior submissions I have sent to Federico for your review.
Yes.
And in fact, you did. You attached everything that you previously provided to Mr. Federico.
Yes.
You attached a letter of April 8th, 2019, or the note. That's a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
You attached the letter that you dropped off at his office on May 25th, 2019.
I believe so. Do you have it? Wait a minute, you're saying, repeat that question again.
You attached to this letter or to this email.
Yeah, to my recollection, I mean, you have the original there, but to my recollection, I did.
Okay. You attached the document that you entitled Settlement Agreement and Release.
I believe I did, yes.
And you attached your follow-up letter that you sent on May 9th, 2019,
Yes, I believe they should have everything that I was referencing.
as well as all the attachments that you provided with those documents.
Yes. Would you like to know the reason why?
So you go on. That you have both the jabs of the proceedings from April 25th, 2019 and August 2018, correct?
Correct, yes.
Where you indicate here where Federico violated the judicial code as well as other duties, including his oath.
Yes, I'd obtained a copy of this oath of office.
You go further right here. I have spent much time presenting a proposed settlement that is attached to this letter and in addressing the issues directly with Federico.
I'm sorry, oh, where I lost you.
Right here, I've spent much time.
Oh, yes, okay, yeah, yes, yes.
You wrote that?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
You go further, indicating something that you've said before.
Mhm.
My last two complaints to the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline resulted in letters of caution to 2 district court judges.
Yes,
So I do not make frivolous complaints.
yes.
Then you indicate further that what Federico did is blatantly wrong,
Yes,
specifically referring to events that occurred in court.
yes.
You go to the next page, you write to the firm, know clearly that I'm still very much ready and willing to negotiate with Federico.
Yes,
But you indicate I will need a response within 1 week.
you skipped out a lot of stuff there, so is that what you look at?
Is that what you wrote? That you'll need a response in 1 week?
I wrote some stuff before that though, as a preface to that.
Again, you need to
Okay.
answer the question.
Yes, I wrote that.
then you go on, that if the firm has any say-so in this process of settlement, you see that?
Yes,
You wrote that?
yes,
You indicate that what you would hope is that they encourage Mr. Federico to have a sit-down with you.
yes,
You're hoping that the firm encourages him to further engage with you
yes,
in what you've described as a settlement of your issues with them.
yes,
And then you say here,
well, I'm right, not saying,
okay, you write.
Yeah.
Please look at the attachments and know that this is serious.
yes. No, could I read the exec, you don't want to read that next thing?
Okay, again, remember, he's conducting the examination.
You say you really want to deter wrongful behavior in the future by Federico
Yes,
to benefit all.
yes, exactly,
You sign it and you date the letter,
yes,
include your identifying information or contact information.
yes,
You include in this one as well a certificate of service,
yes,
indicating that you sent this to James Olson,
yes,
Walter Cannon,
yes,
John Gormley,
yes,
Peter Angulo,
yes,
Michael Staberski,
yes,
and Michael Federico.
yes,
And that you did so on May 16, 2019.
yes,
And then we have the attachments. You have the letter that you dated May 8, 2019 that sent to Mr. Federico on May 9, 2019.
yes, yes,
The one that we've already gone through.
yes,
You have the exhibits that you attached to that letter.
yes.
You have the document that you entitled Settlement Agreement and Release,
Yes,
the one that we've already gone through.
yes,
You still didn't add anything about your intent to send this to the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline.
I'm sorry, what was that question?
You still didn't add anything about your intent to send your settlement agreement, should it be agreed to and signed by Mr. Federico, to the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline.
I don't understand the word still, I still didn't, I don't.
Yeah, you still hadn't changed it.
I still hadn't changed that language there.
Right.
No, not to my recollection.
Yeah.
Not to my recollection, I didn't change.
I'm just going off what you testified to.
Yeah, no,
Correct.
to my recollection, I didn't change anything, I think that's what I said before.
You included as an attachment as well, the letter that you dropped off at Mr. Federico's office on April 25th, 2019.
At the reception area, actually, not in his office, but at the reception.
And that's what we see here.
Yes.
You included the exhibit that you attached to that document,
Right,
the customer feedback form.
yes.
And it's accompanying several pages and the invoice that you had with that.
Can you scroll that up a little bit? Yeah, that's what's puzzling about this. They have no date on this invoice. There's no date whatsoever, but it looks to be the same as what I sent.
Okay.
What, did I reference that in the letter? Oh, I can't answer the question. I'm sorry. I forgot.
You attached that Veterans in Politics International letter
Yes,
that you attached in the previous
Yes.
submission to Mr. Federico.
mhm,
And you attach the two letters that you received from the Commission on Judicial Discipline
yes,
that you entitled Herndon Complaint and Bear Complaint.
yes,
And then you attached the note that you wrote at Mr. Federico's office on on April 8, 2019.
yeah. In fact, a copy of the note, but that's not the note, but the copy of it.
Okay. You testified a bit on direct about Mr. Federico's fear that he had. You remember that?
On my direct examination, I testified.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny, I may have referenced it, I don't know exactly what context.
I quoted you, I wrote it down here.
Okay.
I said, I don't know how that could be figured.
Okay. The fear is what you're referencing.
Yeah, that's what you're referencing. You remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
You said, I have done this before. No one has ever contacted me. They just ignore me.
That's been my experience, yes.
They send these kind of letters to other judges in the past,
Yep, numerous judges,
and they have.
state and federal.
Okay. And so you didn't know how Mr. Federico could be in fear. You couldn't understand that, right?
Yes, based on my experience, yes.
You heard him testify in court about his fear and the steps he took because of it.
Yeah, I heard him, yes, I heard him testify, yes, I heard him perjure himself.
Oh, really?
Yes,
You, in fact, that's extremely offensive. You, in fact, saw him talk about the worry that this caused.
yeah,
for
he
him
was
and his-
committing perjury. Yes.
Mr. Blandino, you've got to let him ask the question.
I'm sorry.
The worry that he had for his family, specifically his 6 kids. You heard him testify to that?
He perjured himself,
Oh, is that right?
yes.
You saw him tear up here on the stand when he's talking about the fear to his kids, right?
Those were actor's tears. He was acting.
And you sat right there, right?
And I laughed because it was a poor performance for an actor.
You laughed.
I could not help it. When you see a laughable performance by an actor as an involuntary, my attorney definitely tells me to maintain a pose, but that's not me. Everything you see is what I am. And I couldn't help but laugh because it was just a pathetic performance. It was an act. The proof is in the darn videos. When I come into the courtroom on that day, does he call the marshal over here, I'm so afraid or anything? No, he wasn't, because he wasn't afraid. He was arrogant.
You have no empathy.
No, I have empathy when it's deserved.
You have no remorse,
When it's deserved, that's not true. I have remorse.
and you just
No, they're wrong.
are in it for yourself.
No, all for other people.
Is that right?
Yes,
Well, you testified that you did file a complaint against Mr. Federico with the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline, right?
yes. Uh-huh.
And you testified that you did that, but you didn't testify when you did that, right?
I thought I was told it was irrelevant. That
No,
my recollection.
that wasn't brought up. So
You mean I testified, for clarity, you're saying I testified that I filed a complaint, but I didn't mention when I filed it?
April 8th, 2019, you had not filed a complaint against Mr. Federico.
Oh, no, right, true.
April 25th, 2019, you did not file a complaint against Mr. Federico.
No, I wanted to settle the thing, that's clear. in the
May
letter.
2nd, 2019, you hadn't filed a complaint against Mr. Federico.
I mean,
May
that's
3rd, 2019, you hadn't filed a complaint against Mr. Federico.
correct, yes,
May 15th, you hadn't filed a complaint against Mr. Federico.
correct, yes,
May 16th, you hadn't filed a complaint against Mr. Federico.
correct, yes.
And ultimately, you had some deadlines here. May 23rd, 2019, you hadn't filed a complaint against Mr. Federico.
What date was that?
May 23rd, 2019.
I was in jail,
Okay.
so it was hard to do anything from there.
In fact, it wasn't until August 28th, 2019 that you filed a complaint against Mr. Federico.
I was kept very busy, that was the earliest I could get to it.
That was months after you were arrested on this case.
Yeah, I had a tremendous amount of legal work to do in regard to this.
And you and your attorney provided me a copy of that complaint, isn't that right?
You asked for it on reciprocal discovery and we supplied it, trying to follow the rules, which I always try to do is follow the rules.
Because the complaint itself is otherwise confidential.
Well, yes, but can I elaborate on that?
No?
Okay.
So, in the complaint, you indicate that the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline should provide Kim the immunity Kim desperately needs.
Yes.
Throughout your document that you sent to the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline in August of 2019, you indicate that you are seeking immunity.
Well,
In this case,
I can answer yes to that because I know I mentioned it once, but I don't know how that I did. You said repeatedly. I have to have that shown to me.
here's
Show
the
to me on the
next,
screen.
here's the next slide. Does this sound familiar? Kim needs immunity so that this evidence, recordings from around the courtroom, can be shown. Does that sound familiar?
It sounds like something I could have wrote, but if I look at it, I could definitely verify.
What about this?
I wrote it.
Kim needs prosecutorial and punishment immunity as to the claim so that Kim can present evidence.
Yes. It sounds like something I wrote.
So throughout your complaint that you sent months later, you're asking the Commission on Judicial Discipline for immunity.
Because I saw it in the rule of the law and the Constitution that you are entitled to immunity if you're a witness.
Not entitled, right? But that the Commission on Judicial Discipline does in fact have the ability and discretion to grant people
So that's a discretionary thing. Yes, I could agree with that.
that they can grant immunity.
Yes, they have that discretion.
And so, when you reached out to the Commission on Judicial Discipline regarding Mr. Federico, who was seeking immunity for yourself,
As a witness, yes.
from this prosecution,
It's a good question. I just get him off the stand. I wouldn't even try to redirect this. Just get him the hell off of there
I need
and
to see exactly
and
how it
argue.
is in the
the less the better.
complaint.
it says right there, I read it to you,
Published as
prosecutorial,
an
immunity
exhibit?
from prosecutorial
Is that
punishment.
published as an exhibit?
Do you want, the refresher recollection if I
Yeah.
can show you right
Yeah,
here?
I need to look at
Can I approach you?
it. Is it published as an exhibit though?
Okay, I'm gonna show you here, this slide.
Okay.
Kim needs prosecutorial and punishment immunity as to the claim so that Kim can present the evidence. That's what you wrote, right?
Yep, I wrote that. Yes.
You were familiar with the process that was available to you. Isn't that right?
As to what? I don't know.
As to any issues that you took with the August 28, 2018 traffic trial that Mr. Federico sat as a judge on.
Which processes are you talking about?
Well, you were familiar with the process that you could appeal the case,
Yes,
and in fact, you did appeal the case,
yes. There's other things that can be done as well.
and you appealed that to the district court,
Yes,
which is a higher court than the municipal court.
yes.
And you did that on September 14, 2018, you filed that appeal.
Well, if you're saying that that's when the date was, if you want to refresh my recollection, I don't know exactly the date as to that, but it sounds plausible.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at the court docket for that case?
Sure.
May I please approach one?
You may.
Thank you. I'm gonna show you the docket here, take a look at that.
Okay, well, it's register of actions is what it states. You call it docket, it's register of actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this document would have the dates of all the filings.
Very familiar with the type of form.
And so the appeal from the lower court occurred on September 14, 2018, is that right?
That was the first filed document with the court, it looks like. Yes, the first
Okay.
filed document. Okay.
There were many things that occurred between that date and the final disposition of the case.
Yes, there was back and forth between me as the appellant and the respondent being the city of Las Vegas.
And then ultimately in March 2019, your appeal was dismissed.
Again, if it sounds like it's a plausible date, if you want to refresh my recollection, I don't know the date off the
You're
top.
familiar with State's Exhibit 29,
Okay.
right? The order granting respondent's counter motion to dismiss appeal and remand the matter to the lower court.
And then they vacated the March 14th, 2019 hearing. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Respondent would be the city of Las Vegas,
Exactly.
so they court.
Well, they say respondent / plaintiff, I'm the appellant / defendant.
Okay,
That's the way they do this.
so their motion to dismiss your appeal was granted. That was filed.
I didn't see that date, you flashed by it too.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
March
March
7th.
7, 2019, at 1:11 PM.
That's all correct, right?
Looks to be, yes.
And then just about a month later, when you showed up at Mr. Federico's office and wrote that first note.
I believe my recollection was I asked for an extraordinary writ from the Nevada Supreme Court.
Denied,
So,
right?
at another level.
Denied.
Well,
It was denied. You
so I
had
did do that, that's true.
that your entire appeal ended with that document. You had nothing left.
No, that's not true.
Okay. You.
I could have gone to the US Supreme Court on the issue. I had that option, and I thought, that's a Hail Mary, a long shot, so I forgo that option, but you can go to the US Supreme Court on that type of issue. Yes.
Okay. And so that's a Hail Mary.
They
So
take it.
instead, you decided to go right to Mr. Federico.
No, not true. That's not
That's
true.
what you did, right?
That's what I did, but that's not why I decided to do that, because of a frustrated feel to see me being fined.
Save the best witness.
I don't know, Mr. Bateman, anything? Want to allow Ms. Blandino to step down?
Court's indulgence, Your Honor.
It's not painful. You're not doing it right.
Ms. Blandino, you, I testified earlier that you, during your sort of, what you call and sending complaints to the commission, etc. But you got a letter of caution issued against Judge Herndon and against Judge Baird.
That's true. Yes.
And you, as proof of that, on the letter to Mr. Federico on April 25th, we attached these as exhibits. And in fact, we attached these letters as exhibits 3L to that letter. Correct? You remember that?
Yes, I believe so. I believe it was 3L.
All right. And I'm showing you here that exhibit 3L from State's Exhibit 4. Now, it's the letter from the commission. Can you recall Mr. Dial being here last week to testify, correct?
Yes, yes.
And recall that he testified about the process, that a complaint goes in, it's reviewed, you recall that,
Yes.
and that either a dismissal is issued, a dismissal with a letter of caution, or then if it's more serious, other steps are taken, you recall it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you said that in order to know that there's a letter of caution, you have to know how to read the letter.
Yes.
You recall saying that?
And I base that on the fact that I've received so many letters over the years, you could tell from what the language states, what was done, what wasn't done, either expressed or implied.
So, I'm showing here, this is your attachment at the top, that's you already testified, I believe that, right here, I'm just pointing. Herndon complaint, you testified that was your annotation?
Right, exactly. So I could identify it because the numbers there, the numerals down there, where it says 20182-216, when you send in a complaint, they send you a letter back, say, we received your complaint, and they show you that they attach that number. So you have to follow along from you. It's best to keep that letter so you can refer back to, because even I don't remember when I filed a complaint necessarily. I can look at that number and say, oh, this is the complaint I put in on Judge Herndon, then Judge Herndon.
Okay.
And identify.
And so, explain to the members of the jury, how do you interpret the language of this letter to mean that a letter of caution was issued?
Okay. In that second paragraph, well, can I read that first one and second? It's not that long.
Can you see
The
it?
Nevada Judicial Commission, the Nevada Judicial Discipline Commission met on March 1, 2019, and decided to dismiss the complaint you filed in the above referenced case based on a review of the relevant court records, including a hearing recording obtained by commission staff. You asserted that the judge called you an inappropriate name, failed to issue an order, made improper legal decisions and various other allegations. Now, in this case, that's another one reason I know that this is the Herndon letter, because this is the only complaint where he called me an a-hole twice in court. This actually videos all over the internet. Millions of people have seen it. Anyway,
He did.
So that's the only one where I had somebody call me an inappropriate name. So that's another further identification of what this.
And it was hilarious.
What judge this indicates. So to go on, although the commission has dismissed your complaint, comma, it has taken what it considers to be appropriate action under the circumstances. And then, thank you for bringing the facts set forth in your complaint to the commission's attention. This, the only thing they can otherwise do, and Dial testified to that with a dismissal, is either dismiss it without a letter of caution or dismiss it with a letter of caution to the judges. And in fact, this was confirmed in the reports that the commission puts out, and it shows all the different letters of caution, absent the names of the judges. But it'll say, this judge was issued a letter of caution for failure to timeliness. They say district court judge or justice of the peace or temporary judge. And they have the grounds on which it was done. So it could be untimeliness, failure to be timely in getting their work done. for administrative neglect, or in this case, for inappropriate demeanor and decorum. The code that governs that is that a judge at all times will maintain a proper decorum and dignity of the court. And I'm sure that that's what they said, hey, don't use that kind of language sort of thing, and don't be impatient.
Okay, and so, you're saying here it says, by, obviously, that says it's a dismissal, or dismissal of a letter of caution, saying the language here, it has taken what it considers to be appropriate action under the circuit.
Yeah, they have no other,
So you said, what is different, if you get a letter that is just dismissed, is that language, it has taken what it considers to be appropriate action?
yeah, that's not there on those other letters that I've got.
All right, I'm showing you other letter that was attached. So copy's not quite as good.
Okay.
But you do see the same language there on that first paragraph. Although the commission has dismissed your complaint, it has taken what it considers to be appropriate action.
Now, this is somewhat crafted
Is
differently.
that?
Yes, that's true,
language
yes.
is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I read that next paragraph?
I'm not, I will go.
Okay, anything else?
Just briefly. Sir, you attached those two letters to your letter to Mr. Federico, right?
Yes,
Your testimony that you believe that those letters indicated the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline issued letters of caution based upon your complaints.
yes. No, it's an unavoidable conclusion.
You got results.
Yes, I did in those cases, yes.
You're proud of those results.
No, I never, pride is unbiblical,
Okay.
wrong. I was pleased, but not proud.
You're pleased with those results.
Well, I'm not as pleased as I could be, moderately pleased. If they should have really, in my view, published those decisions and given some discipline. So,
Regardless.
Yeah.
You attached those for Mr. Federico to see.
yes, I did.
You attached those so that he knew that you're serious.
No, I see, you use that word serious again. The thing is that I'm not filing, and in the letter I said, I'm not filing frivolous complaints. So, if I had been able to have the letters of caution, but those are not punishment, and they're confidential, then I would have attached those, obviously, to show that,
You get results.
that I have gotten results in the past, yes.
You pass the witness.
Okay, thank you very much for your testimony here today. You may step down, Mr. Bateman.
I don't know. I'll just talk right now. I'm trying to not create an echo and not blow you guys out. I've turned it down 17 different ways.
We have no witnesses in the defense of this.
That was bizarre. I don't know why they allowed defense counsel to redirect him.
Hey, can we approach? Thanks.
I don't know what was going on there. It's so strange to me because he was testifying in the narrative and doing a horrible job of it. But then they let defense counsel come and try to redirect him, which I think was a mistake. Not horrible, but I don't think it went well for him at all. Somebody asked me the question, what would Ben do? I guess I answered, what would Mike do? Mike would say, no redirect, so that he doesn't get a chance to recross him. The less time on the stand, the better. Get him off the stand. Your way to win this case, your way to an acquittal here is to say your client's silly but harmless. That's your best argument by a wide margin. And the longer he's on the stand, he's undercutting that. Just one man's humble opinion who does not do criminal law, so it's not worth much. But that's the way I see it. He actually kind of surprised me that he did that. Is this just off right now? I don't know what they're doing next. Okay, we've got the Let's go to this view. We've got that thing. Okay, so we have 2 more witnesses. I intended to do closing arguments. Now my thumbnail's all wrong because what's going to happen here is they're going to take a break, and we'll probably have closing. I don't think this will ever end. I think we've all just virtually moved in with each other. This is now a more committed relationship here in Long Talk with Mike. Because I don't think this case will ever end. I really don't.
Discuss or communicate with anyone, including your fellow jurors in any way regarding the case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or social media. Read, watch, or listen to any news or media accounts or commentary about the case. Do any research such as consulting dictionaries, using the internet, or using reference materials, making the investigation, test or vary the case, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own, or form or express any opinion regarding the case until it's finally submitted to you. This time, we are going to be in recess till about 1:30 in the afternoon.
I'm with you, Lauren.
I apologize for that big break. The defense is done calling their witnesses. The state may call more witnesses. If they don't, when you come back, you'll be instructed on the law, and we'll go right into closing arguments. But we are pretty close to being done, and I just apologize for this big break. I also have other hearings that I had to break for at 11 o'clock. So we'll be in recess till 1:30. And remember, you'll come up here, Officer Hawks will greet you, and they'll bring you in when we're ready. I do want to extend my gratitude and my thanks to you for being here. I know we have gone a little bit further than anticipated, and I'm very grateful for your willingness to be here. Thank you, and we're in recess.
Thank you, all right.
All right, well, there you have it. That was fascinating. I hope I'm not blowing you up right now. So we're gonna have closing arguments this afternoon. What I don't know is if we have other witnesses. You guys tell me. I'll check in the chat. I'm gonna close this down right now. That they're gonna restart at 1:30, which is 3:30 my time. Why am I telling you this? Yeah, you know. I'm like Kim, I like to go back to the point of conception here. I'd like to, translate everything to Central Standard Time because that's where I am. I think you should all be aware. Anyway, it's going to be a few hours. It's going to be 3.5 hours before this thing's up and rolling again. I will do a stream. Tell me in the comments or in the chat or somewhere if you want me to. I don't know if there are other witnesses, but if you want me to deal with those witnesses or just take it down to the closing arguments. I thought that's what it was. I guess I'll have to change my thumbnail. I clickbaited you all by giving the wrong information on my thumbnail, but in my defense, I really thought it would be closing arguments. I really thought that's what we were settling in for here. But thank you so much. Thank you all for the super chats. I was really trying to stay out of the way of it because I just, despite all my attempts, I'm hearing I have an echo and I'm way too loud. So I was there the whole time, but I essentially just turned the microphone off because I wanted to, and the testimony was really good, so I didn't want to step on it. So that's just kind of the way I chose to handle it. I guess I'll try to watch a little bit of it and see if there's any other adjustments I can make for the 4 millionth time. But no matter what I do, it seems to come out the same way. All right. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you in a little bit.